So following up on the MG-800, great fun little plane to fly. I think it'll be a ripper once I get the electronics sorted out. Motor and ESC and receiver. One of these caused my throttle to stick, and to be honest, I don't know which one it was. The only thing that seems to be giving problems now is the motor, which is cogging, which sort of indicates that one of these wires has fused or shorted, or one of the phases has shorted out. The ESC still seems to work fine, and the receiver works fine. This is a sort of a good quality FrSky X6R, so I'm not worried about range at all, although I had just stuffed the antennas in the fuselage. I was thinking it could be explained with a sort of a custom fail-safe setup where the throttle is set at a certain level in a fail-safe situation, but I still had total control over the servo, so that doesn't make sense. Makes more sense if the ESC is playing up somehow, because I've got a throttle cut switch on the transmitter, but even cutting the throttle so there was no signal going to the throttle stayed at the almost full throttle setting. So don't know what it is, and the motor is the only thing that's actually not working now. Anyway, I'll do some more testing. I've swapped out the motor and the ESC. I'll use the same receiver. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the receiver's problem. See what happens in the future. But anyway, this video, we have some unfinished business. We have this lovely big box that needs to be made into something. Looking at it quickly, I can see a wing already and airfoil just by doing that. So that's going to be my wing on the side. Might have a sort of a profile fuselage, 3-channel rudder elevator throttle. Let's go. Alright, it's time to see if this MGB is going to fly. Made from the box that the MG-800 came in, hence the MG box or MGB. Even got the fancy stickers. No idea if it's going to fly. Won't survive very long, for that's for sure. It's really poor quality, weak corrugated cardboard, but you never know. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Well, it's going to fly. Oh, it's not bad at all. Whee! It's an all under-cambered wing, just a fold. It's actually flying. 3-channel. Yeah, that's working okay. That's ridiculous. It's going a bit nose up. I think I've got, as usual, I've got thrust angle issues. All up weight's about 500 grams, which is a bit too heavy for this sort of plane, really, but I can't believe it. So what's happening? It's going nose up. Whoa. That was fun. Did a loop without meaning to. Whoops. Plovers don't like it. Floppy control, so it's pretty wafty sort of control, but it works. So it does a nosedive when I cut power, and goes nose up when I power up. So definitely got some up thrust, I think, and it's kind of nose heavy, maybe. But if you keep the power on nice and even, it's okay. Oh, then it does that weird sort of high alpha thingy, but it's not too bad. All right, onboard camera. Oh, it's a crappy plane, but Youch! Oh. Yes, it dives when you stop power. Oh, okay. We've got adjustable thrust angle. Maybe. Oh dear, that's funny. Oh yes, I have got some up thrust, haven't I? I'll put an onboard camera and then we'll kiss this baby goodbye, I think. No, I haven't got my onboard cameras. Damn. Alright, we won't have onboard. We'll just fly a bit more. So it flies nice and level if you keep the power just about mid-throttle. Kind of controlling pitch with throttle. That's nice. It's a lovely windless day, so it's cruising around now. You have to keep your eye on it, otherwise it'll hit the ground. Some aerobatics. Loop. Oh yeah, nice loop. Funny loops. Cartoon loops. Just 3 channels, so I can't really do rolls. I probably can. Oh, the MGB's going alright. Not a design I'd recommend, but not bad for a quick build out of crappy cardboard. That's a better landing, but I didn't really want that to happen. Alright, so that's the end of that. We've folded up the nose. Excellent. Alright, so if anyone wants plans to this, I'll sell them for about $50. I think it's such a good design. Everyone will want one of these. Alright, this is the second go with the MG-800. I've swapped out the motor for a very similar motor to the previous one, and a new ESC. I don't know what the problem was with the previous one that gave me a stuck throttle, and I'm trying to take off on this sort of low grass really. I discovered that it actually does have a spar in there, just that it's not doing a very good job. It's a sort of a tubular, looks like carbon fibre, but I think for the amount of flex we're getting out of it, it must be just fiberglass. But for this sort of flying, it doesn't need any more. This is just lovely, just cruising around nice and slowly. Really could work on 2S. This is 3S, and I'm only using a third throttle for this cruising around. So if you've got some 2S 2200s, that would be perfect. This is beautiful. Really nice. Look at that. You can even see the thermal activity by it bobbling up and down. Lovely little plane. If you're going to hot dog it, you would put another spar in there. Just cut a slot and glue in a 3x1mm carbon strip, something like that. That'll stiffen it up nicely. For this sort of flying, just doesn't need it. Can barely hear it. It's so low revving, low throttle percentage, really quiet, slow fly prop. I reckon you get half-hour flight flying around like this. It must only be sipping about 2 amps or something, I would imagine. You'd fly this in quite a small area. Turns nice and sharply. Flies slowly. Alright, bring it in for a landing. Yes, the wheels are going to catch in the long grass there. So that's an absolutely delightful little model. Purrs around on third throttle. No fuss, no bad habits, really stable. Really like it. See, there is a spar in there, just goes from about there to there, so I would cut a slot in front of that and go all the way out to the edges. Then you wouldn't get so much flex. Not that it's a big problem. Very good. Thanks for watching.